And with that, the 2024 season comes to an end. Good night.
Remember 24. And when I'm back in Chicago, I see it. Another version of me, I was in it.
So I started off my year in uni. I was in first year and I was part of Musical Theatre Society, and to be honest that kind of took over the majority of second semester. I had rehearsals for Ultra Cup and I actually filmed every single week and uploaded a video every single week. I don't think I've ever been so consistent at posting on YouTube. I've never really had much to post about, and then all of a sudden I had this production that I was part of and it just gave me an excuse to post every single week, and I kept up to date with that. Which was a lot of work, but I loved it and so much fun. And honestly, in terms of YouTube, it's the best thing that I think I've documented of all 2024. Like, there was just so many amazing people involved and I just got to film the process from my perspective, which was so much fun as well. What else have I done in my life? I have a little note of kind of everything that I did to try and keep me in line, because most of it wasn't documented on the internet, so that kind of makes things difficult here. But finishing off first year, I did exams, we had our show, and I also, did the usual socialization. We did our big end of year society ball, so I went to that. And then just also went on nights out and day trips with my friends, just doing things that normal uni students do. And I was really grateful for so many things to happen that did happen. I think there was a lot of it in first year and kind of became quite overwhelming, certainly towards the end of the year. And I was really looking forward to a break, just an opportunity to go home and wind down and just shut off from the chaos of uni. And I say chaos quite a lot on my channel. I feel like that's normally how I describe my life, but there really is no other way to put it. Uni was just so so overwhelming, and it was really good to just go home and have that time off. So that was kind of May time. And I went on holiday with my parents just down to the borders. That was so lovely. I didn't film that at all. I think we were there for a week, and I just took that time to be kind of unplugged and spend time with my parents, go on plenty of walks. It wasn't like a holiday abroad, so it was quite just our normal routine but in a different place, and I really enjoyed that. As I said, uni was so overwhelming, so it was just nice to kind of pause from that and take a break and really reconsider things and have a good think. Another couple things I was really grateful that happened in 2024 were concerts. So I went to one in March, I think, or maybe it was April, I don't know, I can't remember. I went to one earlier on in the year with my mum, and that was Toby Sebastian, and it was the smallest concert I've ever been to. For the support act, before he came on, there was 12 of us in the audience, but there was 50 of us for the actual concert for Toby Sebastian. And then afterwards I got to meet him and I got merch signed by him, and it was all just really cool and such a fun opportunity to be given. That was one of my Christmas presents from last year. So I really enjoyed that. As I said, I went with my mum and we had a lovely little evening together. Oh yeah, the other concerts I went to were a bit bigger scale. I went to Olivia Rodrigo with my mum and my sister. So my mum and I travelled down to Birmingham where my sister lives, and we stayed with her and we went to go and see Olivia Rodrigo, which was so fun. As I said, it was much bigger scale, so we were like further back, which is something that was kind of new to me. Like when I've been to concerts, I always find my way right at the front. So to be so far back was kind of a new experience, but I really enjoyed that. And just like going down and seeing where my sister lives, because I actually hadn't been down to see her flat and everything, and that was so lovely. I think a week later, I think it was, we went down again to go and see Take That, which was one of my favourite moments of the year, 100%. Take That has been my favourite band as a child. Such an odd one, to be honest, because it's a bunch of 50-year-old men, but as a child, they were always my favourite band, and I just think that they have like music that just like reminds me of my childhood, so are ultimately still one of my favorite bands because of that like nostalgic feeling. And honestly, going to see them in concert was incredible.
From a word okay, Birmingham, if you know the words, sit on. If you don't, then listen on. Help me escape this feeling of insecurity.
Yeah, so after I took some time away from uni and had our holiday with my parents and everything, I did a little bit of work. I went back to the cafe that I worked at throughout like my year when I was at college. I did a couple of shifts there, but ultimately it was kind of just like in the meantime before I found a job in the city, because I moved into my new flat. In June I moved in here and I absolutely adore it. It's become one of my favourite places because I love my room and I love the location. It's amazing. I just really enjoy being in the city and living with my friends as well. I feel so incredibly blessed to have the opportunity to live with these wonderful people and be so independent as well. So I moved here. For summer it was just myself, Heather and Gracie living together, and then for the start of the new year in September, Finton came back from Camp America and he joined us, and now we're all here together and I just absolutely adore it and I love it so much. I enjoyed a reasonably slow summer. I thankfully didn't have too much going on once I left my job at the cafe. I got a new job as a barista here in the city, so that's what I do. Just do teas and coffees all day, and that's pretty much how I spent my summer. I just worked to try and earn some money, be able to afford to live here. And yeah, as I said, I feel so blessed, and I'm so grateful that I had these opportunities. I took some time to get to know people at work, to get to know the area that I'm living in, and just have some time away from uni and like, I don't know, just spend time on my own as well. Like, that's so important. So I did that, and that was basically my summer. I actually just finished my tea, but I still want to hold the mug because it's warm and I'm really cold. So after the summer holidays ended, Fintan came home and moved into the flat. We just started preparing to go back to uni, and then it came to classes and balancing classes and work and a social life, which kind of, honestly, I realised wasn't as necessary for second year. It's such an obvious thing to say. I feel like that's just the natural progression of being a second year, but first year for me, I didn't feel particularly overwhelmed by the workload of uni, so I had the opportunity to go out and have a social life quite often, if not every single night. I was doing something, I was hanging out with friends or going out or just doing something. And that's kind of what made first year so busy and so hectic. But then the contrast of second year so far has just been like balancing work and classes, which have kind of stepped up a little bit. And in terms of like my mindset towards classes, I think has also changed. I chose to sort of involve myself more and kind of try and go above and beyond more than just doing like the bare minimum, because I mean, it seems so obvious again, but like I was getting so much more out of my classes when I was doing that. So I really appreciated first semester of second year, and just like all the new opportunities that kind of came with that. I almost forgot to mention, in October time, my sister got married. We went down to Birmingham again and she got married, and it was beautiful. It was such a special day and just an experience that I'll never forget, a day I'll never forget. It was a traditional Pakistani Muslim wedding, so in terms of posting on here, I don't think I'm going to share too much, if anything. I don't want to plaster the internet with all of my personal information. However, I'll probably put in a little picture of what I wore, which was a traditional Pakistani outfit, and my sister and I got ready in my room in the hotel. I helped her get ready. It was, to be honest, upon reflection, very, 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 very special. In the moment, it kind of felt normal, the way that you just get ready with your sister for an event, except it was her wedding, so I got such a beautiful gift of being able to get her ready for her own special day. And I felt so proud and so happy. And of course, I gained a brother. Gilles has been on my channel before in my Christmas vlogs. He's a great guy. I love him. Shout out to you, Gilles, because I know you'll be watching this. Yeah. And then after October, it was back to uni, back to work. And then just MT, we had our showcase in November, which I also vlogged, so there's a video on that as well. We had interviews and auditions for our end of year show, which is going to be Legally Blonde, and I'm so excited because I'm actually co-stage managing. So that's something new that I have been given the opportunity to try. I'm very excited for that. We start rehearsals next week. When I'm filming this, it's currently January, so next week we start rehearsals, and the show again is in May 2025. So very excited for that. Then all the normal Christmas celebrations. I was doing things at uni with my friends. We went for Christmas dinner, and of course was working a lot in the run up to Christmas, trying to get the money in. And then I came home on the 23rd and celebrated Christmas with my family, and it was lovely. It was just as it always is. I love our traditions, and I was so grateful that I was able to go home and spend Christmas with them uninterrupted. Previous years I've worked on Christmas Eve, and I was very grateful that this year, 2024, I didn't have to work any of the days of Christmas, and I was just yeah, very grateful to have that time off to spend with my family. That's kind of the end of my year in terms of chronological events. But something else that kind of really changed and impacted my year was church, and I think it's something that I've not really been too vocal about on social media in the past because, well, I don't know, it's just kind of like a very personal opinion and belief that I hold very close to my heart. But just with the struggle of university and first year and, you know, moving away from home, being on my own and not really having anyone to tell me what to do, church was one of those things that I kind of struggled with, and navigating, you know, faith and my beliefs and where I stand and everything was also just something I had to figure out, which again, I'd never really had to do that. Like I don't know, it was all a new experience and it did impact me a lot, I think. But I was very, very grateful for 2024 because it gave me the opportunity to understand my own beliefs and figure those things out, and try different churches. I went to a few different churches to figure out what worked best for me and where I felt most at home and where I could ultimately grow my faith and relationship with Jesus. And I landed in a wonderful church here in Edinburgh, which I did try last year and I didn't quite connect with it. But I really went kind of like full steam ahead into it with a fresh mindset this year. Like academic year, I went back in September and I've made some wonderful friends. I'm so incredibly grateful for everyone I've met there and the impact that they've had on my life. Second semester has been so incredibly wonderful and has really just changed my life. The difference from first year to second year is astronomical already, and I truly believe that is down to my faith. To summarise, I'm beyond grateful for everything that happened. It had its challenges, it had its ups and downs, as the past few years of my life have done. I think 2024 was certainly a very difficult start, but honestly one of the most positive ends to the years. Like I've never felt better. The October to December was just so incredibly positive and it just felt so good to change my life in a way that I did. So I'm really, really grateful, and yeah, I just kind of want to put that down to the people that I have in my life and the relationship with Jesus that I was able to kind of grow and develop. Other than that, that was my 2024. Without being too cringy, I want to thank you again for everyone who's made this year, or 2024, possible. Everyone who helped me, who stood by me when things were challenging, who just showed me any kind of love and provided me some peace when things were hard, but also just for keeping my life filled with joy. And specifically people that I surround myself with on a daily basis, my flatmates, my new friends at work and at church, and obviously my family who love me no matter what. Yeah, I'm just feeling very, very grateful. And of course, thank you to Jesus, who ultimately has changed my life for the better. Before I actually start crying and being a bit too emotional, I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this kind of chill chat about the year. I hope I didn't hit the microphone there. I hope you've enjoyed this kind of sit down FaceTime video, if you will. Just a little catch up reflection on 2024. and I hope you all had a wonderful year. But I hope that 2025 is even better, and that it brings so much joy and blessings to your life. So, all my love.
Haven't seen my twin brother, I keep missing his calls. It's funny just how easily a family can drift apart. I'm finally getting married to an angel in human form, but I still